Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Warcraft replay here as we get into a random versus orc. Here on the Netease ladder, TH is the random player. Not to be surprised since he loves playing all races. And Guagua spawning as the blue orc. We'll see where he spawns. So TH ends up being the red undead in the top right. Guagua spawning as the blue orc in the bottom left, here on the map Northern Isles.
The damned stand ready.
Yeah, another Guagua game. I definitely do want to see a lot more games from him. I definitely do think that, yeah, I do like just casting newer players. Basically, it was like the same feeling I had with like 120 when he started showing up in a lot more replays, like 3-4 years ago. And yeah, there are a lot more players, but I think 120 was probably the most prime example. Standard starts here for both sides, I would say.
Summoning is complete.
We'll see what the first heroes will be. Guagua went Blade Master when he first
Summoning
in. This time around he's gonna go for the Farseer here. TH is gonna go for the Death Knight. Since it's Reforged, it's gonna be the female Death Knight anyway.
Stand ready.
Although Classic has a female Death Knight too. It was horrible. It was definitely rancid. And yeah, I kinda wanna get rid of it from my memory as quickly as possible. It still lingers there.
Complete.
Either way, 3 ghouls so far. I'm not sure if we're gonna go into Graveyard anytime soon. This could potentially just be a ghoul opening from TH as
Summoning is complete.
he doesn't know what Guagua's gonna go for. Or since Guagua is orc, not random. Guagua on the other hand has the disadvantage of not actually knowing what TH is so far. I probably saw the Acolyte when he passed each other. Is gonna spot out both the Undead and the Death Knight, so
Summoning is complete.
yeah, don't really know how great Farseer is into Undead, particularly because
Our forces are under attack.
there's a couple of factors. I mean, there are definitely pros as well. Spirit Wolves are definitely a pro because once they get high enough level, they can basically sneak behind the enemy front line and go straight after either the statues or the Crypt Fiends, or they can be very, very good at harassing, going after the Acolytes as well as maybe even ghouls. We do have a good number of ghouls to start out with the TH, but he is going to go for a fairly early-ish Graveyard as well. Might just be a sudden transition. Yeah. Farseer on this side. Not sure why he's on his side. Maybe he went for some early harass, but since Northern Isle is such a big map, yeah, probably didn't spot Death Knight at her very first camp. Instead, just gonna go after a couple more of TH's camps instead. So, yeah, back to what I was saying with the Farseer. Spirit Wolves are definitely a con, but they're also kind of pros. Did I say cons all this time? I meant pros, but they also have their cons because they are summon units, so it kind of gives mana over to the destroyers if they actually get massed up on the unit side. Probably will be. Another thing is, like, Farseer's second ability is usually kind of throwaway-ish because Farseers usually come with the Tauren Chieftain as the second hero, so that kind of forces the undead to get a lot more value out of their Banshees once they transition into those Banshees. Here comes the Spirit Wolves here, going straight after the Acolytes, it seems. Spirit Tower is just gonna start, as the ghouls are gonna try their best to go after the Spirit Wolves here. Not gonna cancel any Ziggurats because none have actually been placed down, but it is gonna force TH to micro a little bit with his Acolytes. Death Knight gonna steal this Murloc camp since the Farseer, I guess, stole hers. Level 2 Death Knight could potentially get level 3 if she wasn't going to get interrupted by the Farseer here. Item is going to be the +3 strength being stolen away, and she is gonna run away basically. Greater Mana Potion being picked up probably from this camp that she did earlier. That's gonna help a lot in a future fight, since Death Knight with double her mana essentially is not really played around. So Crypt Fiends are gonna be added to the army comp here. Tier 2 is about to be completed for TH. I believe Tier 2 is already done for Guagua, as he's gonna go into the Turn Chieftain, as I predicted. Double Bestiary for himself, so not going any Turn Totems or any Spirit Lodges. He's gonna go with double Bestiaries. This either means Mass Raiders or Mass Wind Riders. Wind Riders, yeah, they do kind of solve the issue of the Spirit Wolves, which are the Destroyers themselves. Wind Riders are a lot more mobile. They can definitely go after the Destroyers and make those Spirit Wolves a lot safer, but at the same time, Crypt Fiends are kind of the bane to those Wind Riders as well, so it's definitely paper, scissors, rock-y here. Crypt Fiends deal with the Wind Riders, but the Wind Riders deal with the Destroyers, while the Destroyers deal with the Spirit Wolves, who in turn deal with the Crypt Fiends, and it's basically a vicious cycle. Raiders could be added to the mix on the Orc side to maybe just deal with a lot more, since Ensnare is just such a good ability. Yeah, Turn Chieftain trying to get himself into a War Stomp range, but he is dealing with the Unholy Aura movement speed, and both players are just exchanging words again. Probably since I don't have any of the Chinese languages installed on my PC, I'm not able to see what they're saying. Even if they did, or even if I did, I can't read it anyway, so I guess there's no loss there. Tier 3 for TH as he's going to Lich. Death Knight is going to get herself whatever item that is. Why is it so hard to hover over the item? Wand of Lightning Shield. Not a particularly useful item. Will probably just get sold later on. But, oh well. I think the Death Knight cares more for her levels rather than the items that she has.
Summoning is complete.
Spider is going to drop a +3 ring, which I guess is a little bit more helpful. Farseer at level 3 here, so he does have access to those Dire Wolves. Does he send any? He doesn't send any to scout or harass with. And the Farseer himself is just gonna hit and run a little bit. He's gonna toss a Chain Lightning as well onto those spiders. Oh, is he gonna go for another Chain Lightning? Probably not advisable. That would basically just drain him off all his mana, and that would be a lot more pain to deal with, recovering the mana that he's basically spent using to harass. More sitting statues being added to the mix here. We do have Frenzy being upgraded, probably just for the existing ghouls he has, because, I mean, yeah, he's not going into ghouls in the late game.
Is complete.
How is Guagua doing? He does have a decent number of Wind Riders in the air. They're still a little bit fragile, and I believe the Crypt Fiends have access to their, what was it, whip? I completely forgot I didn't activate the overlay. That is completely my bad. Yeah, Frost Armor onto the Lich, just trying to keep him a little bit tankier, since he is just prone to getting surrounded with the War Stomp. Thankfully the Turn Chieftain wasn't actually in range of that War Stomp, so that was kind of a bit wasted. Illusion's gonna get summoned to try and add more units to the surround. Lich, is he gonna get out of this scot-free? Is gonna get the Lightning Shield as well as another Death Coil there, and he, surprisingly enough, is gonna go away. Still a good number of Wind Riders in the air, but the auto whip from the Crypt Fiends, and they're gonna be quickly taken out. Guagua perhaps overextended a little bit too much there with his units, and is going to pay the price by losing a good chunk of his army right there. Wow, gosh, I can't believe I forgot to activate the overlay. But yeah, supplies are basically evened out on both sides. The Death Knight did use her mana potion. I guess it was to be expected since she kept tossing out those death coils there, so I believe Guagua wasn't prepared to deal with a Death Knight with a Grand Mana Potion in her inventory. Probably thought that the heals were basically done for the Lich, but like coil after coil, the Lich was able to survive. And yeah, I guess the Wand of Lightning Shield was useful a little bit. Although it doesn't give armor, which is... yeah, sure, I guess. It doesn't really make sense, but... whatever. Warlord camp here is gonna get cleared out. Meanwhile, on the top left, we have the Magnetor camp being cleared out here on for Guagua. What item is he gonna get? Plus 5 claws for the Farseer, or plus 12 claws for the Farseer. Yikes, I think... ooh, does Guagua regret not going Blade Master this game? It definitely does look like those items would have looked a lot better on Blade Master. But yeah, army supplies, both sides are basically just sitting right underneath that upkeep limit. But it still seems like both sides have very little units on their name. I mean, at least for Guagua, he has 4 Wind Riders who are pretty costly, as well as the Coda Beast, who is also very costly in terms of supply. TH on the other hand,
the damned stand ready.
I guess it's just that Destroyer. Who knows? Guagua probably just gonna go cross country to this Magnetor camp.
Stand ready.
TH is going to spot this Coda Beast, which is a bit awkward, I think. Does he spot it? Well, he's gonna spot it now, and since the Coda Beast is by himself, is definitely gonna die very soon. Guagua just trying to get the item and possibly run away quickly. He's not even running away. The item is going to be another plus 12 claws, so without Battle Drum or Farseer is at plus 29. If he was able to pick up the Orb of Lightning as well as the Battle Drum Aura, he is possibly looking at like plus 40 attack, which like for all the games to not go Blade Master, this is the game. I mean, it's fine. The Farseer is a ranged unit, so he'll be able to benefit quite a bit from the additional attack, but he's no Blade Master. He doesn't have any critical multipliers.
Is complete.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate. Expansion in the middle side here for TH. Meanwhile, expansion on the top left for Guagua. A bit dangerous to expand very close to each other, but I'm pretty sure both sides are kind of unaware of this. Army supply, 53 for TH, 56 for TH, 49 for Guagua. Needs to be a bit careful not to overextend since he does have slightly less units. Chain Lightning gonna come through, and the Acolytes are just gonna get slaughtered here. Warstorm's even gonna come down to finish off those Acolytes there. But here comes TH with the defense force, and TP Scroll is just gonna get channeled instead. Guagua is not gonna lose any of those units, I believe, and will be able to escape with all of his units. A bit uneven of the trade, since he took down 5 Acolytes, but he did burn the entire TP Scroll for it. Not sure if that's an even trade or not, but Expansion on the top left has been spotted, as the ghoul here did get taken down by the watchtower.
The damned stand ready.
54 versus 57 armies are basically evened up on both sides here.
Complete.
3 statues, 1 destroyer. Yeah, it's a bit worrisome that most of your supply is kind of dedicated to support units. But here comes the Pit Lord coming out here as the 3rd and final hero for the undead, completing the undead tri-hero comp. Windrider's trying to be harassive as possible, but with access to his own air unit is able to spot those coming a mile away or so. Howl of Terror is going to be the first ability for the Pit Lord, to be expected since there's not many ground units available for Cleave to be maximum potential. Yikes, those Windriders do a boatload of damage. Speed Scroll gonna get activated here, Scroll of the Beast as well. Will that get negated with the Howl of Terror? No, TH is not even gonna bother casting the Howl of Terror just yet. Focus Fire onto the Banshees, there's another War Stomp gonna come through. Destroyer is almost gonna go down, is gonna take a Death Coil to heal up. And finally the Howl of Terror is gonna debuff all those Wind Riders there. And back and forth, back and forth. Guagua's gonna retreat a little bit. Web is gonna take out one of those Wind Riders, but Guagua still has a good number of Wind Riders available. TH's side, it's just those 3 heroes as well as a couple of statues and Destroyer. He does have 2 Crypt Fiends, but I honestly would say that the Direwolves can just go straight after those themselves. Maybe. Turn Chieftain also about to hit level 5 as well as the Farseer. Another Absorb Magic coming through with the Destroyer. And they're both basically playing cat and mouse. The Watchtower is finally going to go down. Not like it was going to do too much damage anyway. Voodoo Lounge over here did get cancelled, and I think... Is Guagua gonna abandon this expansion? He is indeed going to abandon it, so despite having fairly even-ish supply, maybe even more supply than his opponents, I don't know. I guess he's just too scared of actually losing the game right then and there. A lot of Wind Riders, about 9 or 10 Wind Riders in the air. We do have a Pocket Great Hole being placed down as well. This expansion didn't really, I guess it kind of broke even on itself. Maybe even paid back a little bit, but I guess with this second Great Hole in the middle here, it's probably not broken even. More Banshees being added to the mix here. Masses training for the Banshees on the way. Just increasing the stats for them. I'm not sure if they can actually possess air units. I don't remember. But definitely Wind Riders probably won't get those Banshees to fully complete the channel anyway. Here comes the Auto Whip, but there's just so many Wind Riders that they're gonna completely obliterate the Destroyer there. 1 or 2 volleys gonna take out the Crypt Fiends as well. Death Knight needs to be careful not to be the prime target of Guagua's Wrath, as another Howl of Terror is gonna come through. -3 attack, as well as the Curse on top of them. Despite all the debuffs that the Wind Riders suffer from, they are still able to wipe out a lot of those units with just a couple of volleys there. Yikes, 1 volley halves an Obsidian Statue, and the second volley is just gonna take it out. We do have access to the Shadow Wolves, which I don't know where they are.
Forces are under attack. Our town is under attack.
Another statue is gonna bite the dust, as we are 46 supply for TH, 69 for Guagua. Lich is gonna get focus fired here instead. Gonna change targets right after that. Crypt Fiend is gonna keep himself alive thanks to the burrow.
Our town is under attack.
As the Shadow Wolves were taken to the expansion and
Stand ready.
gonna basically take out all of those acolytes there. level 5 Death Knight just recently attained is going to heal up that Griffin to full. You can see that the Venom Spear is doing a huge amount of damage. That was basically a late stage poison, and it did about 130 damage to the Griffin alone. That is very impressive. You can see that these Wind Riders are definitely paying off for being masked up.
The damned stand ready.
Yeah, the curse is still a bit annoying. Having the chance to miss a third of your attacks is a huge amount of DPS lost, especially since that their attack speed is only average, which is, to be fair, boosted up by the endurance aura of the Turn Chieftain as well. Turn Chieftain to level 3 War Stomp. Honestly, not enough green bubbles have been placed on those units to even make the War Stomps ineffective. Plus, even the Chain Lightning's doing a lot of damage as well. So, here comes the skirmish once again. 71 for Guagua, 62 for TH. Mass Focus Fire onto the Death Knight is gonna pop an Invuln instead. And now the Focus Fire is onto the Pit Lord, who finally goes for the Howl of Terror. TH is being a bit slow on his Howl of Terrors, to be honest. Whether or not he's looking for the optimal positioning, or maybe he's just forgot. Yeah, it is gonna cost him a little bit, perhaps even the game, as the Pit Lord is gonna drop down to 200 HP. Can he go for a Death Coil in time? The Death Knight doesn't have enough mana. Ooh, yikes. Pit Lord is going to survive with that level 3 Death Coil landing.
Stand ready.
But yeah, even though he did get fully healed by the Death Coil, that little chunk of damage was thanks to the Wyvern Poison. And yeah, now with the Death Knight out of mana, the Pit Lord is going to go down. Not before going for one last Howl of Terror, but yeah, I believe the game is basically over. Healing Scroll is going to get used as well. So what on earth happened here? I am super surprised that TH did not even consider training up a couple of gargoyles. Maybe even abandoning the statues / destroyers altogether and going mass Crypt Fiends. But either way, these Wind Riders are doing so much damage that TH is just unable to even compete. And that is gonna be game. So yeah. I apologize if the overlay was off for a good chunk of the first parts, but yeah, thankfully I was able to spot that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Wind Riders are definitely a lot scarier than I would have imagined. I always thought they were too frail to do anything, but not when you have a full control group of them. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys again next time. Take care.